Cold War muscle flex with echoes from the past has the Pentagon on a bit of alert tonight. Russian President Vladimir Putin's warships are conducting drills just 100 miles from Key West, Florida. The Pentagon says it's monitoring a Russian fleet that's now operating off the coast of Havana, Cuba. Now, this is not a replay of the Cuban Missile Crisis, but a nuclear-powered submarine is among the ships operating just outside U.S. waters. A 21-gun salute from Cuba welcomed the flagship vessel flying Russian and Cuban flags and carrying hypersonic missiles on board. While this week's exercises were planned before in advance, they come at a time when tensions are definitely ratcheting up between the U.S. and Russia over Russia's war in Ukraine. Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh made it clear that the United States is not viewing these actions in the Florida waters as a threat.
It certainly wouldn't come as a surprise to us if we see more activity around the United States. What Russia is doing in these exercises, they don't pose a threat to the United States.
Joining us now is NewsNation senior national security contributor General Richard Newton. General, great to have you here. Is this show of strength by Russia right off the coast of Florida meant as some sort of warning, or is this thumbing their nose? I mean, take me inside what's going into the thinking here.
Well, at the top of your conversation, you mentioned Putin, who is a cold warrior, not at heart, but also in action. And he's telling the United States and the rest of the world that he can operate in our own backyard. The United States is going to be supporting Ukraine. Putin can sail his warships into Havana Harbor. It's nothing new, however, Elizabeth. From 2013 to 2020, there was at least one Russian naval vessel port of call in Havana. But it does show that Putin is telling President Biden and the rest of the free world, frankly, that he can operate in the backyard of the United States, as well as lend support to what he sees and certainly as an ally in Cuba. But let's not forget Venezuela. The two closest allies to Putin and Russia right now are indeed Cuba and Venezuela. So he's steamed 4 ships right into Havana Harbor.
And the United States Navy is sending Navy vessels down there. What is that purpose?
Well, we've been tracking, I'm sure, my experience tells me, we've been tracking these Russian ships and their transit, certainly through the Atlantic and into the Caribbean and right into Havana Harbor all along. We've also been using air power in terms of the Naval Reconnaissance Patrol Aircraft, the P-8, has been monitoring and tracking
and
these
that's
ships.
all normal?
That's all normal. That's correct.
Oh,
so let's, I want to make sure our viewers understand this is at best provocative. I don't believe, as the press representative from the Pentagon said, there's no direct threat to the United States, but it does up the ante in terms of the rhetoric as well as, the tensions that are rising between the United States and Russia.
Yeah, it was less than 2 weeks ago that President Biden told Ukraine they could go ahead and use American-made weapons to strike inside Russia. It just feels like things are escalating.
They are, and I wouldn't necessarily tie, President Biden's approval for what I would call limited strikes with U.S. military-made weapons into Russia from Ukraine, because this flotilla, moving towards Cuba and then ending up in the Havana port, takes weeks, if not months, in planning. But it does come at a very interesting time, like you mentioned, that the tensions are rising, especially with President Biden's recent announcement. But nonetheless, I believe it's one that we're going to continue to see these tensions rise, and you'll see this between certainly the United States and Russia and perhaps our allies as well. Let me underscore one more point, though. Russia sees all the way back to the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis that they have that freedom of navigation, and they have the determination to operate in our backyard, in this case in Latin America. And they're supporting their allies, specifically Cuba and Venezuela, as well as letting the rest of Latin America know that they could potentially have a friend in Russia.
In the meantime, General, new sanctions were announced today at the G7 summit aimed at stopping China's supply of microchips and electronics that the Russians have been using to build weapons. These sanctions also blacklist banks in China that are helping finance Russia's war. Biden has tried before to choke off the supplies and the money to Russia. Do you think today's sanctions will work?
sanctions are very difficult you can announce is one thing, but to employ and to make sure that they're successful is a totally different thing, because you not only need just the United States, employing these sanctions, but you need cooperation amongst our allies and near friends, I would say. So it's very difficult. It's good to hear that the sanctions are moving forward. It'll be we can talk, in the coming weeks and months or so, whether or not they're effective or not. But nonetheless, stopping China providing technology such as chips and other technologies to, players like Russia and Iran and others is very difficult.
Yeah.
But we need to do so diplomatically. Whether or not we're able to do so is another matter.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.